With the rise of violent extremism sweeping not only the Arab region, but now it is becoming an epidemic in the entire world, some thinkers and theorists are advancing the theory that civilizations, particularly the Islamic civilization, is on a collision course with world civilizations. And they argue that the history of Islam is full of bloodshed and conquests and what have you. While if we return to the prophetic model, a model not only for Muslims but for the entire world, we find ample evidences that the Prophet himself was sent as a mercy not only for humanity but for all the worlds that we know and worlds that we do not know. And when the Prophet himself defined his mission, he said that I was sent as a gift of mercy from God. And he said in another authentic statement that he was sent to perfect the moral character. So with this in mind, if we look at the prophetic example as a whole, we find four phases or four stages of this prophetic example, which gives again ample evidence that the Prophet promoted peaceful coexistence among Muslims and among non-Muslims as well. We look at the first phase, a phase of that expanded for more than a decade long, when the Prophet himself was commissioned as a messenger, as the last messenger from God. We find that he was living at a hostile environment, and even though the people were very hostile to him and to his message and to his followers, but he engaged tactfully, peacefully with all the people, trying to look for the best interest for the entire community, Muslims and non-Muslims. He even participated in a pact that catered for the needy, the poor, the oppressed. And later in his life, when he was asked about why he engaged, why he participated in this pact, this social welfare pact, he said that if I was given the chance again, I would do it again for the service of humanity. He refrained his companions from carrying arms against non-believers, even though again they were very hostile to him, his message, and the companions. And then after that, coming to the second stage, when the persecution intensified, he asked his followers to go to Abyssinia. And when asked why, he said that a just Christian king was ruling over there, and it would be a protective haven for Muslims. When Muslims went there, they understood this mandate, and they became a catalyst of peace and stability in their host community. And then when later the Prophet migrated to Medina, he engaged the faith communities and the political tribes back then, and he formed and wrote what came to be known as the first constitution of Medina, which is a document of civil liberties and also an important document to regulate the interrelationships between Muslims and non-Muslims. And later in his life, we also, through authentic resources, we know that the Prophet died while his armor was mortgaged with a Jew. So to such an extent that Islam came to promote interfaith relations, came to promote peaceful coexistence between Muslims and non-Muslims. This is the real example that we need to revive and promote.